Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. We are live right now. Okay, hello everyone, how you guys doing today? If any of you guys want to check out Ewan's site, I have it in the top pinned comment right there. There's a Black Friday sale going on, and if you use my code TP, you can also get 30% off any gaming chairs, gaming desk, or gaming accessories on their site. Hey everyone. Yeah, right. Today is the 10th anniversary of the channel. You're right on that. Yep, it is. I should probably change the title of that. You're right about that. I forgot about that. It is the 10th anniversary of my channel. November 28th. You're right. Okay. And, hold on 1 second, everyone. I'm gonna put a new thumbnail in, yeah. You're right, it is the 10-year anniversary. Okay. No. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone's having a great weekend today. Did you guys like my lore video on Ned Burner on GTA Online? Okay. 10 years? Yeah, it is the 10-year anniversary. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot, November 28th. You are right. Okay, I'm putting in a much better thumbnail here. Okay, here we go. And, new thumbnail should be in right now. Tell me if you guys see it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Am I still doing Red Dead Redemption? Yeah. Yeah, we're still Here you go, Pro. You deserve this because you helped me out a lot, and I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. It's me, Carlos, or known as Pizza King, by the way. Happy 10th year. Thank you, Pizza King. Thank you for the super chat, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Happy 10-year anniversary of channel. Thank you, Chaz. Thank you, dude. Thank you for being a moderator, and thank you for being a member of my channel for 6 years. Thank you, dude. Okay, let me go back there, and we're gonna do that mission over there. Will I play Yakuza Kiwami 2 next year? I'll play it right after, I will play Yakuza Kiwami 2 right after I finish Yakuza Kiwami 1. Because Yakuza 3 is coming out remake on March, and so I want to finish that by then.
Gonna have to work if you want some money, friend.
Happy anniversary, Pro. Sending Gabagool and orange juice, some pulp only your way. Final Lullaby of Love. Thank you, Final Lullaby, and I see your handle is also Aerodome. Thank you, dude. Special shout out there to him. $50 donation. Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you, dude. Hope to see you on YouTube for another 10 years. Just be yourself no matter what. I'm still proud to be a fan of yours after 4 years. And thank you for being a member of my channel for 4.5 years also, Mr. Waifu. Thank you, dude.
That's good. You wouldn't cross me.
Is there anything worth doing on Reddit Online? Reddit Online is fun to play with friends. If I was doing this by myself, just playing Reddit by myself, I'd be bored, but playing with friends is fun. Happy 10th anniversary, Patrick. Thank you, DL Gaming. Thanks, man. Thank you, Quick Scopes, for being a member of my channel for almost 2 years. I first know your channel from the GTA Top 5 videos. I'm gonna make more of those when the when GTA 6 comes out. I'll make a bunch of them for that. Happy 10th anniversary, Pat. Will you have another group projects react to comments video? Also, tomorrow you watch the Chernobyl video part 3. I could react to that tomorrow on the member stream. I could do that, Vertigo. But I'm gonna make another channel update video in the beginning of December. I just don't know what the topic will be, because we've had the last topics, we've had like retail and reacting to comments, and I did a bunch of videos reacting to comments already, so the next one I want to do it something a little different. I just have to think, I'm just gonna think what I'll make the channel update. If there's a specific topic you guys want me to talk about, I can talk about it. It's the only thing I'll never discuss is politics. No, screw that. But anything, you know, general, I can make a channel update video talking about. Hi, WRV. Happy 10th anniversary and happy Thanksgiving. I always enjoy your streams. Thank you, Zach. Thanks, man. And thank you also for being a member of my channel. Thank you, dude. School project. We already did one on school projects. I heard about the fire. Over 100 people are already dead from the fire. That's because in Hong Kong, they have these apartment buildings and everybody's unit is just so tightly close together. 20 months since Valve announced their Steam machine a while back. Do you think this will be the lower the sale of consoles? No. Because the people, a lot of people that buy consoles these days, they can afford gaming PCs, but they're not getting the gaming PCs because they just prefer playing on consoles. Like me, personally, if I wanted to, you know, I have a gaming PC from 2019, and that's the main computer I use. And if I wanted to, I could get a much better high-end gaming PC, but I don't really have the need for it. I don't play much on the PC, and I'm just more of a console guy. So while I could get a gaming PC, I've always been a console guy. That's what I'm used to, and that's what I'm just gonna play. But also, guys, do you remember that that really big apartment complex in Hong Kong? What was it called? Kowloon, I think it was. Kowloon, I think the name of it was. Because and it was I think it was the Walled City. I think that's what the neighborhood was. I think that's what it was called. But it's in Black Ops 1. It's in Black Ops 1. There's a mission there, and that's why that apartment building, like that whole complex, was taken down, because it was a potential fire hazard. Because the Walled City, that's what it was. Because everybody was just so tightly packed together in these small, like, cage apartments. Like, that's what they were called, cage apartments, because they were just so tiny. And so everybody was just, packed together in these, like, these apartment buildings in Hong Kong, and the government took them down because it was like a massive fire hazard, because if something went off, like, so many, thousands of people could be at risk, and so that's why they closed that down. But I know that Hong Kong still has a lot of those apartment buildings that are just, like, really close together, and there are cage apartments. Just go on Google and look up Hong Kong cage apartments. You'll see them. They're pretty disturbing. They're very extremely tiny, but people are like really cramped in those places. What do I think about the future of gaming, and what do you think will happen in the next 20 or 30 years in this field? I think that crossplay is probably going to be pretty much every game is going to have crossplay in the next 20 or 30 years. And I will say this, if a game today does not have crossplay when it comes out, that game sucks. Like the game could have the best gameplay, but like there's no reason why any game should not have crossplay these days. Like I personally think every single game should have crossplay. I think every single one should have it. The only time I don't support crossplay is I don't support crossplay with PC on certain occasions, but like Xbox, I'm fully on board with crossplay on everything with Xbox. The one thing, the things that I don't support crossplay with on PC are like, for example, like a GTA, because GTA could have, hackers come into like PlayStation lobbies, and I don't want that happening. But there's one game I play called Hell Let Loose. Does anybody here play Hell Let Loose? But anyways, Hell Let Loose is a World War II game. I play it a lot. It's a pretty realistic World War II game, and PC players have an advantage on Hell Let Loose because they have mouse and keyboard. And because of that, they can precisely aim, and so they can hit targets really accurately. And so, like, snipers on PC would be much more deadlier on that game. And so that's why PC does not play with console in Hell Let Loose, because it would just be so broken. So that's why Hell Let Loose only has crossplay with Xbox and PlayStation, not with PC directly, because it would be broken and it would not be fair. What did I eat for Thanksgiving dinner? Thank you, Random Fist. For Thanksgiving dinner, I didn't. I had turkey. I had cranberry sauce, sweet potato, and some corn. Pro, South Central Vietnam is going terrible flood season right now. Thousands had already died in Phu Yen province, and people are planning on suing the dam managers for opening the floodgates early. And are the dams controlled by the government there, or is it private? Read previous comment, Pat. Wait, what, Bork? Thank you for the super chat. What? What are you asking me, Bork? Thank you for the super chat. Happy anniversary and glad to be a fan for 3.5 years. And happy Thanksgiving. I see myself in you, and my birthday's tomorrow, Pat. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow. Everyone wish Menacing here a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Menacing. The Darman scandal. I don't know much about the Darman guy. The Darman, I watched some of his videos like years ago. Some of Darman's videos were good like years ago because he would teach you like important life lessons in those videos. But then he started becoming like creepy and cringy, and then he was like involved in like a bunch of these scandals that you guys were telling me about too. Do you think John could have avoided his fate at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1? Yeah, if he probably never went after Micah, possibly Ross might not have found him. Thank you, thank you for being a member of my channel for a month. Thank you, dude. Okay, you know what? Let's help General sell his businesses, because General said that he needs to sell his stuff here, so let me join this here. The people who ran the dams opened the floodgates in the middle of the night without giving notice. The local government there denied civilians who wanted to rescue people to what? John should have listened to Arthur. 10 years, man, that's awesome. Are you going to be around for their 10? For real, man. What is a YouTuber retirement plan? The thing is I will tell you something. I don't really have any plans to retire from YouTube, like, really ever. The only time I would consider retiring from YouTube is if, like, YouTube got deleted or something like that. Then maybe, like, if YouTube did not exist as a platform. But here's the thing is I have I have a few rental properties, and I make money from that as well. And so if I wanted to, I could just live off the rental properties. But I do YouTube because, it also, makes me an income, but I do it because I like it, and because I will tell you something. I have had it where, when I have like, when I'm not doing anything for like several days and stuff like that, I get like really bored. Like really, really, really bored. Like there really isn't even that many games that can constantly entertain me. So like if I'm not doing something actively, like I get really bored. And so YouTube gives me a pleasure and enjoyment in just making these videos and talking to you guys. So it's great because I make money from it, but also because I take pleasure and enjoyment in this. So I having fun. I like talking to you guys, and it gives me something to do. And just making videos, creating content, and then people watching that content and enjoying that content. And then when I come back to some videos that I make like years later, and then people still leave comments on videos that I made years ago. Finding those videos, and they say, oh, these videos are great. These videos help me out, or like I read comments of people saying like I was in a down mood, but your video put me in like a good mood. That stuff makes me feel good. Reading stuff like that. So. That's what I'll say about that. Favorite movie? My favorite old movie has probably got to be Scarface. My favorite new movie, like the newer movies, modern movie, it'd probably be The Equalizer. Probably that one, yeah. What do you think was the latest Dutch could have saved his gang and gotten away? After he killed Bronte. After Bronte was killed, just skip town. Just get as far away as possible. Like that, they could have gotten away at that point. And here's the thing is, like, and I know that I might get some hate for saying this, but I could never really get into John Wick. I never could. Like, I just didn't like it that much. Like, it's not, I don't think it sucked. I don't think it was a bad movie, but I could never really, get into it. I thought it was a bit ridiculous at times, just the action in those movies. But the movies I really liked was The Equalizer. Like, Equalizer I thought was much better than John Wick. I only saw John Wick 1, to be fair. That was the only one I saw. But I just think that Equalizer 1 is just so much better than John Wick. Because John Wick was just, he was like a former, like, Belarusian hitman that worked for the Russian mafia. And then, and then they killed his dog, and then he went after them and just, wiped them all out. But the reason I liked Equalizer is because Equalizer was, while I wouldn't say it was the most realistic film, it was just more, I don't know what the term I would say for it. I'm trying to think about what the term I would say for Equalizer. It's more of it's more, I guess you kind of sympathize with the character more. That's what I would say, because like in Equalizer, he was like a former Black Ops agent, and in Equalizer, did they ever even reveal like what his job was? He was like some kind of CIA Black Ops agent, right? That's what he was. He was like some kind of former government assassin. Did they ever explain what his role was, like what his job was? But I don't know if they ever did. But he was some kind of government assassin. That's basically what. Like, he was like some CIA guy or some special forces guy, not like Navy SEALs. Like, even better than that, even better than Navy SEAls. That was what he did when he was younger. So he was some kind of like really, big, like, elite, like, unstoppable soldier. That's what he basically was. Like, when the government wanted him to kill somebody, he would kill somebody. Like, go to other countries and assassinate people. And he wasn't even in Delta Force. That was McCall. He wasn't in that. It was some kind of Black Ops thing, like something like Mason and Woods, something more like that. But he was even better than Mason and Woods. But the backstory behind that is he was his wife died. I remember I saw in the first Equalizer. His wife dies before the movie starts, and his wife like promised him to never kill anybody again, never go back to that life. And then he gets a job as being like I think he was a supervisor at like the Home Depot. That's where he goes. He worked in the department store, and then he meets this Russian girl she's being forced into prostitution by the Russian mafia, and like the Russian mafia beat her up and just treat her really badly. And he tries to go to the Russian mafia's club and just tries to buy her freedom, but they just laugh at him, and he just gets pissed off and just kills all of them. And then what happens is then the Russian mafia send their best hitmen and their best assassin to try to kill him, and he brings over a team of Russian hitmen to try to wipe him out, and he just kills all of them, just wipes them all out. So that's what I liked about Equalizer is I liked that he was a vigilante. I liked that he was he did bad things when he was younger. When he was a young guy, he did bad things, but when he was older, McCall in Equalizer. He's a vigilante, and he just goes after these bad people. So that's what I like about Equalizer so much, is I just like how he just goes after these like really evil people and just wipes them out. And also, the thing I would say, the term that I was thinking of is serious. Equalizer takes itself a bit more serious than John Wick. That's what I say. And honestly, if Robert McCall fought John Wick, I think that it would be a pretty fair fight. Because McCall in Equalizer, he is like, he's like an older guy. He doesn't seem like he's dangerous, but he is very, very, very dangerous. He took out an entire team of Russian special forces in a Home Depot. They had night vision goggles. He didn't. So just think about that. Like these Russian mercenary special forces, they cut the power in a Home Depot, and he killed every single one of them without night vision. So that was that's what I'll say about it. Is he's a that was one of Denzel Washington's best films. Was that one? Equalizer set in Boston. Pat, have you been? I know it's in Boston. No, I've never been to Boston. I've driven past Boston. I've driven through Massachusetts, but I've never been in Boston. No. Yeah, but I didn't actually see the third one. I'm actually gonna see the third one next month. But I seen half of the second one, but I didn't finish it. I just was busy. But I really loved the first one. The first one I really, really liked. And I'm gonna finish the second one. The second one, I did start a little bit of it. I watched it. He's like on the train in Turkey, and then he confronts that guy, that Turkish gangster. And then the other part is he's like pretending to be like a Lyft driver, and he's going after criminals. Sisu, I never watched Sisu. I do have to watch Sisu. Sisu, I do have to watch it. I know in the first Sisu movie, I know he fights Nazis, and then in the second Sisu movie, he fights Soviets. Oh, I missed a few super chats. I'm sorry. Let me look here. Pro, which one of these retails do you think will go out of business eventually? Best Buy, GameStop, Target, and Walmart. Not Best Buy, no. Walmart, no. Probably GameStop. Probably the one that has the highest chance of, falling apart. And the reason is because people just buy their games digitally anymore. People don't really do midnight releases anymore. Like, do midnight releases still even exist anymore? Like, do people still do those? Because they did those when I was like a teenager and a young adult. Like, the last midnight release that I ever went to was GTA 5. Like, GTA 5, I went to the midnight release, and I did get that in 2013. That was September 17, 2013. I remember I got it. But it was a Best Buy midnight release. But do stores even do that still? But yeah, so people don't really go to the game stores anymore. So GameStop does have some problems. It is going out of business. But here's the thing I'll tell you. Best Buy understands business. Their company, they do understand business well. And do you know why Best Buy understands business well? Because Best Buy will price match. They do. A lot of people don't know this, but Best Buy does price match. They won't price match on used stuff, but they will price match on new stuff. But it has to be from a company. It can't be from an individual seller like on eBay or on Amazon, but they will price match directly from Amazon. So if you go on Amazon, right, and you search for a product, and you have that exact same product on Best Buy, if you just show them it on your phone, if you just go on Amazon.com, show it to the cashier on the phone, they will give you the price of that item. And I've done that at Best Buy several times. Every single time I'm in Best Buy, if I'm ever in there, I just look at the item that I want to buy, and I just pull up my phone, I look at what the price is on Amazon, and then I just show it to the cashier, and they price match it, and they give me the price. Not a lot of stores do that. But Best Buy does that, and that's how Best Buy manages to stay in business, because Best Buy is smart. A lot of other companies are stupid, is they refuse to price match, and any company that does not price match is basically shooting themselves in the foot. It's hurting them. So I don't know if Target price matches, that I don't know. I don't really shop at Target, but I know that Best Buy does price match. So that's what I'll say about that. So GameStop probably the one that has the most chances of going out of business. Which modern war game has the best story? Can I say a series if that's fair? The original Modern Warfare series, Modern Warfare 1 through 3, the original one, that was pretty good. And out of all the 3 Modern Warfare games, which one is my favorite one? Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4, I think, had my favorite story in a modern war game. So that trilogy was pretty good. And like just killing Makarov at the end of the trilogy, I find was like the perfect ending. I don't think there should have been a Modern Warfare 4 after that. I think like it's perfect that it's ended where it did. Like Modern Warfare 3, how it ended, it was just perfect. So just killing Makarov, it was the best ending. Thank you, Host, and thank you, Far. Yeah, I've never been to Boston. Check out this ambient song called 3 from Apex Twin, released in 1994. Huh. Thanks for reading my super chat, no problem. My favorite Call of Duty game is World at War. That's my favorite one. Oh, thank you, Subject, Subject, XML 8925. $60 donation. Thanks, man. Hey, Pro, happy 10-year anniversary. I have a question. Do you know any Zimbabwean Rhodesian history? A little bit. Thank you for the super chat there, Subject. Is that where you're from by any chance? But I think you gave me, was it Australian dollars there? But about Rhodesia and Zimbabwe, you know, Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, but Rhodesia was another country that was like similar to South Africa, where it was controlled by the white minority. And it had pretty racist policies, but a lot of the white Rhodesians, they were actually descended from the Dutch. So they were Dutch, where a lot of white South Africans were descended from the British. But anyways, about Rhodesia, Rhodesia was a country that the majority of Africa hated. So like the majority of the African countries, they really hated Rhodesia. And the reason they hated Rhodesia so much is because Rhodesia was known as a mercenary country. Like, Rhodesia had mercenaries that they would send to, like, almost every single African country. So, like, whenever there was any kind of wars in Africa, Rhodesian mercenaries would constantly show up. And so, like, these Rhodesian mercenaries were just basically all over the place. So when I think of Rhodesia, I basically just think of mercenaries, because the Rhodesians had so many mercenaries, like, they were just, you know, all over the place. They were just in every African country. They fought in Angola, they fought in Sudan. There was just so many conflicts. Ethiopia, Somalia, where the Rhodesian mercenaries constantly were. But anyways, Rhodesia eventually became Zimbabwe, and with Zimbabwe, you had a guy by the name Robert Mugabe took power, and Mugabe was a dictator. And Mugabe is one of the worst leaders ever. Like, Mugabe was just such a piece of crap, and he the thing about Mugabe is when Mugabe was coming to power, Mugabe had talked a lot about reforms in Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe. He was talking about fixing the economy, more equality in the country, giving the poor land, stuff like that. And he got a lot of support early on. And what ended up happening is when Mugabe ended up taking power, do you know what he did? Mugabe basically blamed every single white person in Rhodesia for all of, Zimbabwe's problems. So, even if your posse abandoned jail, what happened? So, even if you were, a white person that, lived in Zimbabwe and you had, supported, even Mugabe, he would still blame you. and attack you. And what ended up happening is Mugabe had his supporters had basically gone on like farms in Zimbabwe and just beat up and killed white farmers. So that was what Mugabe was doing, and he basically just seized control of all the farmland in the country, and he tried to redistribute the land. And you know what happens when the government takes over land and does forced collectivization? You know, we've seen what happens in the Soviet Union when government does that. And so Mugabe just basically took over a lot of these farms. He forced redistributed the land, and it turned into a massive disaster. The farms were not operating well. One of the reasons that the farms failed in Zimbabwe was because Mugabe gave the land to people who had never farmed. They didn't have experience with farming, and they just didn't do well on the farms. And what ended up happening is Zimbabwe had some of the worst inflation in the country. Like, the inflation was just absolutely terrible. Like, the inflation had, I think, skyrocketed over 1,000%. That's why in Zimbabwe, when people paid in money, they paid in like $1,000 bills, because like the inflation was just so ridiculous. Like, money was just completely worthless. And so, you know, and that's the thing about Mugabe is, and Mugabe also created a secret police. He had a secret police who basically he killed anybody that went against him. So he was a real piece of crap. And the thing about this is, you know, Mugabe could have fixed, you know, Zimbabwe. Like, he promised all of these things. He promised about how, you know, there would be more equality in Zimbabwe. He promised, you know, ending these injustices that were going on with the previous regime, because Rhodesia was a dictatorship. So he promised to fix a lot of things, and he got a lot of support, but he ended up becoming just as bad as the previous government. And he did a lot of, you know, horrible things. So he was a real piece of crap. So Mugabe was just a complete scumbag. Mugabe was actually overthrown in a coup in like 2017, and I don't know if Zimbabwe is like a democracy now, but I know that Zimbabwe did get rid of him in a coup. But you know, he was Mugabe was a real piece of crap. He was a really, really bad guy, like a really, really bad person. Hey Pro, happy holidays. Have you thought about playing the Armored Core series? Hey, Don't Deal, thank you for sponsoring my channel for 2 years. I don't know that series. Wait, isn't Armored Core like mech fighting, or am I thinking of something else? Disgusted you share the same birthday as Andrew Ditch. Well, I can't control, you know, my birthday, though. Thank you for the super chat, though, but I can't control when, you know, when I was born. General's game crashed. Oh, okay. Favorite anime shows series you've watched? Yes, I can answer that. My all-time favorite anime. What's been my favorite anime? That's easy. My favorite anime, and I've watched, you know, the vast majority of it. There's a few episodes I haven't seen. But the one anime that I've seen that I really liked was Golden Kamuy. That anime I really liked. It was a historical anime that takes place in Hokkaido in like the early 1900s. It's kind of like the Wild West version, like Japan's Wild West, basically. And what I like about Golden Kamuy is that Golden Kamuy does not have like a good guy and a bad guy. That's what I like about the show. Is that they're like every single character in that show has like a different perspective. So like there's different, you know, characters, there's different factions, and like every faction and character has like a different perspective. Some are more ruthless than others, some are a little bit more crazy than others, but there isn't like a total like 100% bad guy in Golden Kamuy. Like every single character has like, you know, their own perspective, their own views, because the backstory on that anime is that there's this giant gold treasure that the Ainu, which were the native people in Hokkaido, they hid this giant gold treasure, and there's these different factions that are trying to take the gold, and each of them have different plans for it and what they want to do with the gold. And so even the main character, Sugimoto isn't a total good guy. He isn't. Sugimoto kind of committed war crimes in the Russo-Japanese War. He did fight in that, so he wasn't necessarily like a good guy. The only good person in Golden Kamuy is like a Shirpa. So she's like kind of like the main character. She's kind of innocent. She hasn't really done anything bad. But like virtually all of the characters, they're in that gray area where they're not completely bad, but they're not good either. So that's what I generally like about that show. Is that there isn't a clear villain. There isn't like a clear, you know, this person's good, this person's bad. And that's what I generally like about it. I think the story's pretty well written, and it's pretty well done. Has anybody else seen this anime that I'm talking about, Golden Kamuy? Anyone else seen it? I'm sure there's somebody in chat, one person at least who has seen it, but I generally like it, because I think the story was pretty well done. Explain Russian arc Golden Kamuy, and they speak Russian. Well, I watched the English dub of Golden Kamuy. That's what I watched. I like the English dub better than the Japanese dub for that one. And I'm trying to remember, I seen it years ago. Did the Russian characters speak Russian in that show? I'm trying to remember if they did. Where can you watch it? Oh, Crunchyroll. I went to Best Buy on Black Friday. I got a new PC while shopping. Yeah, and so remember what I said is when you're buying anything at Best Buy, look up what that exact same item goes for on Amazon, and make sure you have the right UPC code that it matches exactly. And if Amazon is priced better, you can just go up to the counter and tell them, and they will price match it to that. That's why Best Buy is a good company. Happy anniversary, Pro. I just got back from the mall job on Black Friday, but hated waking up early and working at 7 a.m. to nearly 9 p.m. Here's a donation from a customer's tips. Oh man, that's a rough shift. That's a rough shift. 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's yeah, that's 14 hours. I hope you're getting overtime. That's a rough shift. That's really rough. I hope you got multiple breaks during that shift, not just one break. Thank you, Cube, for the super chat. Thanks, man. Do I like Vinland Saga? Yeah, I like Vinland Saga. I think that Vinland Saga was I think it was a good anime. Just I guess the one thing I didn't like about Vinland Saga season 2, it wasn't a lack of violence. I guess it was because I felt like some characters talk too much in Vinland Saga in season 2, like because the thing is that season 1 of Vinland Saga and then season 2 is so much different. Where season 1, it's just constant warfare, characters constantly dying, constantly getting killed. And then season 2, there's some violence in season 2, but it's like only like 5% of what you had in like season 1. So like it goes from such a violent season to like barely any violence in the second season. And so that's my only complaint, not necessarily about the lack of violence, but it's just that I think characters talk too much in season 2. So that's what I'll say about it. I know like the purpose of season 2 was that Thorfinn was trying to like, fighting with his inside himself and changing his personality, but that was happy anniversary. Salute, wishing you well. Thank you, Golden Stripes. Thanks, man. And thank you for being a moderator on my channel. Thanks, dude. Oh, JBK, I'm sorry I didn't see your milestone chat earlier. 10 years of professional. Found you in 2019 for GT Online, but stuck through the channel and love your content. Also, Montana has become Antarctica. What, you mean with the cold? I gotta see what, I'm visiting my family in New York right now, and here in New York is not cold at all. Like, it's 34 degrees right now here outside. I don't really think that's cold. But let me see here. What is my town here in the Midwest? Let's see what the temperature is here right now, actually. It's actually snowing right now. And it is 23 degrees. And, wow. And on next Thursday, it's gonna be 0. Nice. Okay. You don't think 34 is cold? No, I don't. I think it's colder, sure, but no, I don't think that it's cold. Yeah, Fahrenheit. Here's the thing. In my town in the Midwest, you know what the coldest I've seen is -40. That's the coldest, and I did not step outside during that. I didn't want to. So it was a day in February, like a couple years ago, but -40. That was the coldest that I've seen. Yeah, so that's what I'll say is that's the difference. That's a 70-degree difference between like that and 30 degrees. Can you play GTA Vice City Stories again? Yeah, Jeremy, you're gonna be really happy to know this. Yes, I'll be playing Vice City Stories again. I'll do another playthrough, but not right now. My next playthrough of Vice City Stories will be in October, so 11 months from now, because it's gonna be a 20-year anniversary. And Vice City Stories will be the 20th anniversary of Vice City Stories is actually gonna be 2 weeks before GTA 6 comes out, and that will be the perfect series to play before GTA 6. I mean, don't you guys think that? Don't you guys think that Vice City Stories would be the perfect series to play right before GTA 6? Because it's in Vice City. And so this 20th anniversary, and we will do like a road to GTA 6 playthrough for Vice City Stories for the 20th anniversary next year. So that is it'll be like the perfect game to play on the 20th anniversary. And we're also gonna do Saints Row 1. Saints Row 1 I'll do in August because Saints Row 1's 20th anniversary is in August, so we'll do that. Have I played Red Dead Revolver? No, I have not. I could do a playthrough of it. Thank you, Exquisite Vibes. And thank you, Far. Thoughts on the Joel decision at the end of The Last of Us? It's kind of stupid. It's dumb. The thing is, I don't mind Joel dying, but like the way that he died, I don't like the way he died. I think it's stupid, personally. Far. Will I do GTA lore video anytime soon? I just posted a GTA lore video today, actually. My Ned Burner video. Check it out. I posted it a couple hours ago. Yeah, 20 years has passed. I got Vice City Stories on day one when it came out, too. I missed your comment, Phoenix? Wait, I'm sorry. Hang on. But wait, Subject, are you still here, by the way? And wait, where's Phoenix's comment? Phoenix's super chat? Let me see here. I think I'm gonna have to go on my, hang on one second here. Because I don't see your super chat, Phoenix. I'm just gonna have to go through my super chat list. Hold on a second here.
Always the same. No damn follow through.
Okay. Did you guys like my Ned Burner video today? Did anyone see my Ned Burner video? My lore video today on... Did anyone see it? I don't think I see your super chat here, Phoenix. I'm looking for the super chat things. I don't see one on here. What was your question anyways? Wasn't it just wonderful when Phil Collins appears in GTA Vice City Stories? Yes, it is. It's a Phoenix, what's your question? Just tell me what your question is again, and I'll read it. Just... Oh, it was a milestone super... Oh, that's why it's not appearing, because it was milestone. That when I scroll through the super chat list, it's not going to appear on there. Just tell me what your question is again, and I'll answer it. Just what's your question? I'm in thoughts on Joel saving Ellie in part 1. Well, Last of Us 1 was just a really good story. It was pretty well written. There was really no problems with it. And then it was just a, Last of Us 2, I just felt like it didn't go in the right direction. What made you do YouTube? I did YouTube as just like a side thing for fun, and it grew into something bigger. The last time I was in Poland was in 2010. What I was... You know what I was considering doing? I was considering visiting Poland in November for the Independence Day anniversary, but I'm not going to next year because GTA 6 comes out, so I gotta do content on that, so... when I'll visit Poland is I'll visit Poland in 2027. I'll visit Poland. I'll visit Poland on the Independence Day anniversary. I could technically stay in Poland for as long as I want. I have citizenship there, so I could literally stay in Poland forever if I wanted to. But I guess my home is America. This is my homeland. So let's see here. I don't have these. Am I going to expand my business portfolio? What do you mean, Zach? My Cesare lore video is in the wrong playlist? Wait, what playlist is it in, Green? Thank you, Arrow, for that super chat. Phoenix, did you type up your question? I don't see it. Hey, Pro, happy 10-year anniversary, man. Hope all is well. Thank you, Locke. Thank you, dude. Thank you for being a member of my channel for almost 5 years. Thank you, dude. Yeah, we will play Black Ops 7, but I'm scared it's going to be a disaster. Do you think the Russian guy in The Sopranos survived? I forget his name, but I know he's the voice actor for Ray Bulgarian. I always wondered if he survived. What's your opinion? Well, we know he survived. It's a fact. He did. Valerie, that was his name. He did survive. He did escape. He took Polly's car. That's why Polly's car was gone. He took Polly's car. Anyways, about it is the director of Sopranos was actually asked about what happened to him, and basically the backstory on what happened to him is Valerie survived. He escaped from Polly and Chris, and what he did was he went back to Slava, and Slava found out about what happened in the woods, but he basically had blamed Valerie for it because Valerie had an insane temper, and what he did was he sent Valerie away. So he basically sent Valerie back to Russia. He basically paid for his trip back to Russia and sent him back to Russia because he didn't want to ruin relations with Tony. So that was basically the backstory and what happened, is that Valerie escaped, he went back to Slava, Slava found out about what happened, but he didn't, go after Tony or anything like that because he wanted to do business with Tony, and so he didn't want to ruin that relationship. So what he did was he knew that, Slava had beef with Polly and Chris, but he couldn't risk him being here, so he basically sent him back to Russia. That's basically the backstory. So Valerie survived, he just moved back to Russia. That's the whole backstory on that. Hey, Pat, this Saturday's my birthday. Could we hang out sometime when you're free? Yeah, just send me a message. Send me a message on PlayStation, on that, Phoenix. Are you worried about... And thank you, Golden Stripes, for that super chat. Are you worried about AI taking people's jobs? Yes. Thank you, Hyperion, for the super chat. So here's my view on this. Oh, his name was Vitaly, not Valerie? I thought his name was Valerie. I guess it's Vitaly then, but I remember his name started with V. So here's what I think of AI, right? I don't think that AI is gonna go like Terminator and just kill all of us and take over the planet. No, I don't think anything like that is gonna happen. Like people keep saying that Terminator is gonna happen. No. What I do think that AI I think is a threat, but I don't think it's a threat in that it's gonna take us over. I think it's more of the threat that it's actually gonna oh, was it Valerie? It was Valerie. I'm not confused then. The thing about AI, what I think the main concern with it is, I think that AI is gonna become so intelligent, that it is going to be able to do a lot of people's jobs. So a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And I think one field that's at massive risk is computer programmers. I think that computer programmers, they could lose their jobs. I think it's an entire possibility, because I think AI will get so intelligent that you could just program an AI, install everything on the computer, and the AI will program everything, do everything that you need it to do on a computer, and so there's really not going to be a need for a person. So I think in the next 20 or 30 years, you're not going to really have computer programmers anymore. The only people you're probably going to have is the people that are programming the AI, but there's going to be a lot less people programming AI than programming computers. But I think the biggest threat to work, the one that I think AI has the biggest, threat of taking, is, I think, truckers. So, like, truck drivers. I think that AI in the future, I think, is going to take over truck businesses. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that truck companies are going to use AI trucks. So there's going to be, like, trucking companies that are going to be using those, these electric trucks to move, cargo around from state to state, and it's going to be AI driven. That's what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of truckers are going to lose their business. And I think that this is a massive threat. I think this is, and I think that this needs to stop. I think it does, because there's a lot of people out there that, like, they say, like, oh, we can't regulate AI because of free market and stuff like that. And I don't completely agree with that. The reason is because I'm a very big free market guy. I'm usually pretty libertarian and everything. I really don't like the government getting involved in the economy. But when it comes to this AI stuff, I do support some regulation on this, because think about this. A lot of truck drivers, right? Like, one of my friends, he was a former truck driver. And do you know where he lived? He lived in a very rural community. Very rural. And there was no work Nowhere. Like now, today, now he has a job as a butcher in a town, so he's just like a butcher there. But before that, like there's very little opportunities in some of these rural communities. Very little. It's not that they're a bad place to live. They're nice small towns. But the problem is that there's not a lot of places you can find work because there's such few people that live in that area. And so you're either going to be driving away very far to a place or you're going to be driving local. But these truckers, a lot of people that live in rural communities, they are truckers. And honestly, do you guys kind of agree with me on this? When you think of like the most American job ever, like think of the most American job ever. Like what is the most stereotypically American job ever? You know what I think of the most stereotypically? Truckers. Like when I think of like the most American job ever, I basically think of truckers. Like truckers are basically like the heart and soul of America. Like that is literally like the most American job ever that I can think of. And truckers are not a bad job. It's a very respected job. You can make a really good living on it. Some trucking companies pay you really good, over $100,000 a year. So truckers can depending on the company that they work for, can make a lot of money. There are downsides to truckers. Truckers do have they have very high divorce rates. The reason they have very high divorce rates is because they're not home for several days. That's the primary reason. Truckers also have health problems because truckers are not exercising. They don't have time to go to the gym because they're on the move constantly, and also because they're constantly eating fast food. So that's the two downsides of being truckers is there's a high divorce rate, and there's also a lot of truckers, they do have health problems, but it is still a fairly good job. But in the future is what's going to happen is with this AI crap, when this stuff becomes more and more intelligent, companies are going to do everything they can to cut costs. They're going to do everything they can. And what they're going to do is they're going to fire all the truck drivers and replace them with AI. I'm telling you, when AI gets that advanced that they can just, do that stuff, they will. They will get rid of truck drivers and they will use AI trucks. And the thing about this is that I hear people like defending this crap. They defend this AI garbage and they say like for example, oh, it's free market and you can't intervene, and then they say, oh, the truckers can find jobs there, in other places. And I'm like, where are they going to find jobs at exactly other places? Like somebody that's living in like a rural community, they're a trucker. Good luck getting them a job somewhere else. So like truckers, like if a trucker works on a farm, he's only going to make a fraction of what he would make as a trucker. And so that's what I'll say about it, is that there are thousands of Americans that are truckers. It is like one of the most popular jobs in America, and Americans generally like being truckers. They enjoy it. Like Americans do like doing that. It is a career that they like doing. Most truckers I've seen are very friendly people. They're very nice on the road. I haven't really seen many aggressive truckers. I haven't. They're generally good people on the road. The only time I see aggressive drivers are typically like those Dodge Ram pickup trucks, but those don't really count as truckers. So truckers generally are really good on the road. They're nice people, and it's a good it's a good job. I personally haven't seen any bad truckers. So I'm not saying they don't exist, but I haven't seen really any bad truck drivers. Like I've driven on highways a lot of times, and truckers are actually some of the best drivers on the highway. So I haven't really seen that many bad truck drivers. But anyways, the thing about this is what's going to happen is all of these people are going to be basically put out of work. And then these people are not going to have a way to support themselves. And this is going to hurt our country in the end. This is going to hurt the country. So you're going to have like thousands of people that are not, that aren't truck drivers going to get fired because replaced by AI, and you're going to have crap like that. So that's what I'll say about it is I really hope that AI doesn't replace truckers. It is an American job. And we need to protect the American trucking jobs. That's basically what I think about that. So I don't want some AI garbage just replacing American truck drivers. And it's not just about saving the jobs. It's also about a safety hazard too. Because I will tell you guys something. Let me ask you guys something. Would you guys be comfortable driving on the highway next to a trucker or an AI truck driver? Like which if you had to like drive down the highway, right, and there's a bunch of like AI trucks on that highway, and then there's like a bunch of actual truckers, like which highway would you feel more safe taking? The highway full of like actual truckers, or the highway full of AI driven trucks? Because I will tell you, I'd rather be on the highway with the actual human truckers. So I don't care when people keep saying to me, oh, the AI drivers are safe, they're intelligent. No, because, people, I know people make mistakes, there's human error, obviously, but people actually think, people actually foresee things. Like some of this AI stuff, they can really make a serious, accidents. And I will tell you, there will be accidents with AI trucks in the future. And the crazy thing about that is, who is going to get sued for that exactly? Is it going to be the trucking company that gets sued, or is it going to be the AI company? Who's going to get sued exactly? Is it the trucking company or the AI company? That's the question. So that's that's basically it. Just creates a whole mess of stuff like that. So yes, free. At the end of the day, free market is generally a good thing. It is. Government should stay out of the economy, but you don't want a system where AI basically controls all trucking and thousands of American truck drivers lose their jobs. Like, the government should step in and try to protect those jobs and prevent, American truck drivers from basically being replaced by computers. So that's what I'll say about that. That's like one of the places I do support limited government intervention, is like, stuff like that. Because that I think that AI crap, I think, can do a lot of problems in the future. That's at least my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, but that's at least what I think about it. I would not get into a self-driving vehicle. I wouldn't. So like, if I got picked up by something like that, like a taxi for a self-driving vehicle, I would not get into that. I would be too scared. I would not feel safe of a computer driving me personally. Yeah, just look at what happened to the guy who got killed in an autopilot Tesla. Wait, what? What happened? Oh, no, I didn't know that, Gunner. Would I consider ever moving to Poland? No. My homeland is America. This is my country. If you're asking me, would I consider having a property in Poland? Sure. Maybe like an apartment or a very small, house. Sure. Maybe one day. Maybe one day when I have more money. But if you're asking me, would I permanently live there? No. Maybe like a vacation home or something like that. Maybe for like a couple months in the summer or something like that. Sure, wouldn't mind. But if you're asking me to permanently relocate, no. Uh... Oh, and thank you, Arrow. I'm sorry I didn't see your super chat earlier. AI hallucinating and providing inaccurate info gives me hope. I don't want it to cause catastrophes. No, but the fact that it reminds us that it is flawed. I would hope that it reminds us not to rely so heavily on it. I don't know. And the thing about this is AI can make mistakes. It can. So, like, I have used ChatGPT to look up certain historical facts because I'm just curious on, what ChatGPT says. And sometimes some of the stuff that ChatGPT says about history is 100% true, but then some of the stuff it says, it makes mistakes. Like, what the weirdest thing that I've seen ChatGPT say? The current Pope Leo, I was asking about that, and I was asking about how he became Pope and stuff like that, and you know what ChatGPT told me? It said, there's no such thing as an American Pope. There has never been an American Pope. And I was like, what? The current guy is. So that's and it kept talking about Pope Francis, but Pope Francis is not, Pope anymore. And so ChatGPT kept saying that there's no American Pope and Pope Francis, and this is like a couple days ago, this was that. And then also, ChatGPT can also give you wrong legal advice. It can, because, like, for example, I was, one time when I was looking up, like, rental property laws and stuff like that, like, in my, state and in my, in my, town in the Midwest, because I own rental properties. What happened was, when I looked it up on ChatGPT, most of the information that it gave about rentals was true. So, like, I would say, like, 95% of the information it gave on, like, rental laws in my area was true. But the one thing that it did make a mistake in is it said that you need the rental permit, that you need to renew it every single year, and you don't. The rental permit that you get, you pay in my town, you pay a $50 fee for a rental permit, and then you have to take a 3-hour class on being a landlord. That's basically the policy. And then once you get that permit is forever. It never expires. You never have to renew it. That permit is basically forever. The only time you can lose the rental permit is if you do something illegal. If you do something like bad. If your tenants are, for example, having several issues with the property stuff breaking, and you don't fix it and you don't bother with it, then yes, you can have your permit revoked. But like when ChatGPT is saying you need to renew the permit every single year, no, that's not true, because I know the law in my town is that the permit is basically forever. So the point that I'm getting at is that AI can make mistakes. It is it's helpful in some regards. AI can be sometimes helpful for looking up specific information. If you're trying to find something, like you say, oh, can you find me this like if you're trying to search for a specific article, like I'll say, can you find me an article talking about this event on this day or something like that? Like the AI will find that for you really quickly, like the article. So it's very effective at that. But if you're asking it for like specific information and like to give you specific stuff, it is not always the most accurate thing, and it can make mistakes. I'm sure it'll get more advanced and better in the future, but I would not completely rely on it. That's at least my perspective and what I'll say about it too. Oh, and I missed a comment here from Red Key. I'm sorry, Red Key, I didn't see your super chat earlier. Any thoughts about the factions from The Last of Us Parts 1 and 2 and how they're written? Likely getting 12 inches of snow tomorrow. Thank you, Demigod. Where are you? Where are you exactly? That you're getting 12 inches of snow. Are you in the Midwest also? About the factions in The Last of Us 1. I think my favorite faction in Last of Us 1 was probably the Hunters that were in it was Pittsburgh, right? They were probably my favorite faction because the Hunters were basically like revolutionaries. They were like they had like a corrupt government that was in Pittsburgh that was oppressing them, and then they overthrew that government and they killed them. But then what happened is they realized that they were running out of food. And so what they did was they basically converted their city into like a bandit country. So like they had like their own mini country in that city where they completely ruled it, but they were basically just outlaws and bandits, and they would rob anybody that tried to come in their city and kill them. And so that's what I say is like the backstory behind the Hunters in like Pittsburgh was pretty good. Like they were revolutionaries originally, overthrew the government, but then they became bad over time when they realized they didn't have any supplies left, and they just started robbing people that were coming into their town. So it was just a town that was ruled by bandits. But the Last of Us 2 factions, I don't actually know them that well. I didn't, play the game. I did see a playthrough of it, but that's about it, Red Key. What's with Pitt? The funny thing is, what's with Pittsburgh being a city that's controlled by bandits constantly, right? It's like Pittsburgh is a city that's completely controlled by bandits in Fallout 3. Like in Fallout 3, it's controlled by raiders, who just kidnap anybody who comes into their town. And then in Last of Us 1, it's controlled by bandits also. And then in Fallout 76, raiders control Pittsburgh also. So it's like what's with Pittsburgh constantly being controlled by like bandits in video games? I don't know. I don't know.
You'll never get out of.
Yeah, Melons, we can. Is everything okay? How did I miss every shot? My God. Ocelot's found out he's Boss's son, which is why Ocelot has a grudge against government and considers Big Boss a brother. Metal Gear Solid 3 Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid 5 80s, Metal Gear Solid 1 MSX takes place at the same time, Metal Gear Solid 1 90s. I'm gonna go back to all these Metal Gear Solid games, and I'm gonna play them one day. Thank you. What's going on, Brandon? Are you okay? Congrats on 10 years of making content. Thank you. An older lady gave me $20 for getting my hair cut today for my birthday. Oh, that's very nice of her. My Thanksgiving was good. How was yours? Happy 10th anniversary, Pro. Hope your night is going pretty well. One wish that I'm hoping to get fulfilled is Xbox Series X by the end of the year. Oh, I hope that I hope you do get it, York. And there might be another sale, going by on Christmas, near the holidays. Wait, people are killing you, Brandon? Are you in this lobby? Hold on, Brandon. I will invite you to my posse in a moment. Hang on. My Cesare lore video is in the Mafia 2 playlist rather than Mafia the Old Country. Okay, Green, I will change that. Thank you for telling me. Yeah. Did you know the camera in the nightclub still works AFK? I didn't know that. Will I play Ghost Recon Wildlands in the future? Yes, this spring. This spring, I actually have plans to play it in the spring. In the spring, we're going to be doing a bunch of Special Forces games. We're dedicating it all the Special Forces playthroughs. SOCOM 3, Spec Ops The Line, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Those 3 playthroughs we're going to do in spring. Well, yeah, I read a little bit about the Pre-Men. They were more like gangs, not necessarily like organized crime. What do you think about state capitalism? Give me an example. What do you mean exactly, state capitalism? Like, what do you mean by that? You'd have to give me an example of what you're talking about by that. Professional, do you think Rockstar will abandon the single player for GTA 6 for online? Like, yeah, oh yeah, 100%. There's not going to be any story DLC. It's going to be strictly just GTA 6 online. I don't think they'll do single player DLC. Thank you, AZ, for the super chat. For me, it says you joined on November 29 because of my maybe because of my time zone. Oh, huh. Would I ever do a lore video on Aiden Pierce? Oh yeah, Aiden Pierce is one of my favorite characters. And if I did a lore video on Aiden Pierce, I would explain, you know, why you shouldn't hate Aiden Pierce and why he's a pretty well-written character. Thank you, Josh, for the super chat. Finish the mission now. Hold on, Brendan. I'm going to deliver her right now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you to the posse so you can get away from those griefers. Give me a moment, Brandon. I'm good, Jack. How are you, dude? I didn't even visit a shop in Valentine. Okay. Hold on, Brandon. Will you do Jimmy DLC? Yeah, I'll do it.
You delivered us our outlaw. Put him in the cell and let him sweat. Whatever it said on the poster, it's all right there for you.
I don't pay attention to those griefing like accounts. Like, there's people constantly trying to impersonate me. I just ignore that crap. Do you know there was this account that, like a couple years ago that went on TikTok? It was like professional TikTok, something like that, and it was like uploading shorts of my gameplay and stuff like that, and it was getting like thousands of views, and people thought that it was me. Well, it wasn't actually me. I don't even use TikTok. It wasn't a fan account. I don't know if it was a fan account. That I don't know. I don't know if it was like a fan account or a troll. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it. Just people told me about it. They told me that there was like a TikTok account that had like thousands of, you know, subscribers, and it wasn't even mine. Like, I don't use TikTok. What do you think about corporatism, the system in fascist Italy, and the Estado Novo dictatorship in Portugal, where society is divided into corporate groups, the state involves heavily in the economy? stupid. It's in Nazi Germany was a little bit similar to that, but Nazi Germany had more of a socialist market economy where the government was heavily involved in the economy. The private business was, when it came to like Nazi Germany, for example, private business was allowed to operate. So it wasn't like the Soviet Union where everything was, totally government controlled. But the difference is the state would control private businesses to benefit it primarily. So that's what it was. Like you had like Mercedes and like BMW, for example, like making weapons for the state during World War II.
Bonjour, patron.
Uh,
See you. Hello.
Pro, you are a legend, bro. I love. I have watched you since 2021. Discovered you from Liberty City Stories. You are a cool person. Thank you, Master Marcus. Thank you, dude. Which is badass anime attitude? Huey, Boondocks, Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney, or Vegeta? Well, Vegeta, I don't really know that much about him. I know the character, but I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z that much. Maybe Miles Edgeworth, because Miles Edgeworth has taken down the most amount of bad people. Thank you, Agent Reaper.
We have some new clients, I see.
Would you agree that fascism is worse than communism? Fascism and communism are basically like picking your poison. That's ultimately what it is. It is just picking a different poison to drink. That's what it is. It is you have fascism, which is just far right, and then you have communism, which is basically just far left. It's just both the opposite ends of the extremes of the political spectrum. It is just a both of them are just disasters, brutal dictatorships, and here's the thing about fascism and communism, guys. And this is the crazy thing about this. There have been so many empires throughout human history for thousands of years, and there have been so many different systems, from dictatorships to monarchies to republics. There's been so many different systems throughout human history. But fascism and communism are two systems that are still relatively new. They're still relatively modern, where throughout most of history it was just monarchies. But here's the crazy thing about it. Even though fascism and communism, both of those ideologies are around a little bit over 100 years old, that's how both all those ideologies are. Like, fascism started with Benito Mussolini in the 1920s, with his March on Rome. Communism, I guess, started with Karl Marx in the with the Communist Manifesto. That was in the mid 1800s. But the first communist revolution that you had was the Paris Commune in 1870. But France didn't end up becoming a communist country. Then you had, Russia became the Soviet Union. So fascism and communism are, two ideologies that have existed, relatively new, made within the last 100 years. But here's the crazy thing about that. Those two ideologies, both fascism and communism, have killed the most amount of people of any ideology. Like, if you just combine all the people that fascism and communism have killed, those two ideologies have killed more people in the last 100 years than all of these other empires that have existed throughout human history. For hundreds of years of human history. Just imagine that. Fascism and communism just came up as just new ideologies, have killed the most amount of people compared to all these other empires throughout history. That's insane. You combine all these other empires, the fact that they've killed so many people. Like, fascism and communism, if you add up the death toll on both of those, it's like 200, 300 million people the fascists and the communists have killed. It is insane, the amount of people that they have killed. Like, so, literally, those two ideologies are like the most destructive, evil, disgusting ideologies that have just caused just so much misery. What about nationalism? Well, nationalism is it really depends on the version of nationalism, because like fascism, for example, counts as a form of nationalism also. So when it comes to like nationalism, for example, regular nationalism, just like love of your country, isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, you want to, you know, put your country first, do what's best for your country. But then you have things like ultranationalism, and ultranationalism is fascism. That's what ultranationalism is. The difference between a nationalist and an ultranationalist is a nationalist is just somebody who generally likes their country. They want to put their country first, do what's best for their country ultimately. An ultranationalist, on the other hand, is an imperialist, where an ultranationalist basically believes that their country should control other countries, and they believe that other countries are inferior to them. So that's the difference, is that ultranationalists are, you know, generally like extreme people. They're imperialists, they're colonizers, they are, you know, want to take over other countries. They think that other people are inferior, where a regular nationalist is just somebody who likes their country. So, like, you know, for example, in the Modern Warfare series, the main enemies are the Russian Ultranationalist Party. That's what an Ultranationalist Party is. Like, stuff like that. An imperialist, you know, party that basically, you know, sees the other countries as inferior to them and wants to conquer them. Would I play Spec Ops: The Line in spring? We're gonna play it. One of the griefers in God mode? I didn't know that. Well, thank you for telling me, Brandon. What, Jonathan? What's that? Well, the ultra-nationalists in, like, the new Modern Warfare series were just poorly written. They were much better written in the original Modern Warfare series. I think that I think probably the best form of capitalism that has existed in American history is probably the one that we had under, like, Teddy Roosevelt, where, like, Teddy Roosevelt was a very free market guy. He didn't typically like getting involved in the economy, but what he didn't tolerate is safety hazards in the workplace. Like, you know, like, he was very against that. He also was for cleaning up, like, the meat industry, cleaning up, like, you know, food places. He put in health inspectors, and he had also prevented monopolies. So monopolies and trusts, he broke that up. So that's what I say is, like, you know, I think Teddy Roosevelt's, you know, brand of capitalism is probably the best one that has existed in American history. Hey man, been watching for over 5 years. I've just recently started my GTA content creation journey. My question is, do you have any tips for a GTA content creation? Much love, man. Yeah, thank you, YT Grid. What I'll say about that is, right now it's oh, that's Richard there. Richard, I guess we'll invite you to the posse right after this. Here's YT Grid. It's right now. It's a bit difficult right now growing as a GTA content creator, and I'll be honest with you, the reason for that is because GTA Online has pretty much hit its, you know, its peak. It's getting, like, stale, and it's getting boring right now. So, like, GTA Online does not have the same flavor and the same, like, enthusiasm that it had, like, years ago. Like, I would say the best year, like, was probably maybe, like, 2018, 2019, but you know, don't lose hope because of that. Doesn't mean that you can't grow on GTA Online. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a lot harder to grow on GTA Online now than in the past. However, though, you have plenty of opportunity, because with GTA 6 coming out next year, and GTA 6 having an online mode, there's going to be so many new YouTube channels. There's going to be so many new YouTube content creators that are going to grow on that game. So what I would do right now is start making some GTA Online content, just so, you know, you get at least a little bit of a following. That way, when GTA 6 comes out, at least you have some people that are already watching you, and those views will help your channel get more recommended in the algorithm. But the best piece of advice that I can give you is, if you want to get views really quickly in a GTA video, the best way to get views in a GTA video, honestly, like, without clickbait, is to just cover the update, like, right when it comes out. Like, the second the update comes out, cover it. Like, right away. Like, instantly. Like, the moment that it comes out, like, the minute that the update just drops, start making videos. If you have time, if you're available that day, like, right when the update drops, like, the second you can download it, start making videos. Because the people that always put out the videos first are always the videos that the people that get the most amount of views. And this is what a lot of the GTA content creators won't really tell you this. But I have a lot of GTA content creators that are my friends, don't get me wrong, but when a new GTA Online update comes out, we're all racing to basically get the content out first. That's basically how it is. We don't, say that we're competing with each other, but that's how it is we are actually. So we're just basically racing to get all the content out, and a lot of times I can't get all the content out at once because I'm also doing other content, like I'm doing playthroughs and stuff like that. So that's why sometimes some of my content, like, takes a little bit longer than like somebody that's just exclusively GTA. But basically that's the best advice that I can give you is, in like 1 or 2 weeks, the mansion update is coming out on GTA Online. When that mansion update comes out, cover that instantly. Like, just make videos on it. Don't drag out the videos just for no reason. But like, just make like videos like I'll give you an idea, like a good video idea, and this is what I'm gonna do. But make like a YouTube video buying the most expensive mansion and customizing it. Just put that, like, make that as your title, and just buy the best mansion. Don't make it clickbait. Make it what the title actually says. Buy the best mansion, fully customize it. People are going to want to watch that because there's going to be people that are not going to want to spend that much money on the mansions, but they want to see, what it looks like, and so they're going to look up, on YouTube, like, what's the best mansion to buy and stuff like that. And so that you got to think, put yourself in the mind of the viewer, and you got to think, like, what are people going to look up specifically? That's how my money guides got so popular, because I knew people looked that stuff up. I knew people look up, best ways to make money in GTA Online, and so I would, look up stuff like that, and then I realized that people like solo stuff. They like solo stuff. They like working by themselves. And so I made guides specifically for solo stuff. And so I made, like, videos like Solo Money Guide. And whenever I made those videos just skyrocketed. They always got so many views. That's what people are looking up. So put yourself in the mind of the viewer. Think. If you are a viewer, what are you specifically going to want to look up over a game? What are you going to want to research? And whatever, that type of stuff, that's the type of stuff that always gets the most popular. So, like, what people are specifically researching. But I hope I gave you some tips. Did I help you out with that? But I wish you well in that. Hey, Professional, I don't want to jinx this, but I feel like Rockstar is going to copy and paste GTA 5 Online DLC to GTA 6 Online, and will act as its new, I don't know if they'll really copy and paste everything. I think there'll be some similarities, but I will say this, AZ, when GTA 6 Online comes out, I think that the first couple months when GTA 6 Online comes out, I think people are going to rage. Like, I think that GTA 6 Online is going to be a disaster when it first comes out. I do really think that. I think people are going to get pissed. I think the community is going to rage. And the reason I feel that way is because, one, I think the servers are going to crash. I think that GTA 6 Online, so many people are going to want to get online, and it's going to just keep crashing the servers. I think that's going to happen. But the other thing is GTA 6 Online is not going to have all this stuff at launch. It's not going to have heists. It's not going to have, mansions and all this other stuff, businesses, all this stuff that you can buy. It's going to come with a standard apartment that you buy, maybe a car you customize, stuff like that. It's going to be just how GTA Online started in 2013. It's going to be just like that. It's going to be contact missions. So, like, you're literally just going to have missions from, like, the characters in GTA 6, at that point, and you're going to be doing contact missions for them, just getting money. And then what's going to happen is the DLC is going to slowly roll out over time, like, mansions, yachts, a new heist, stuff like that. That stuff is going to come out over time. This stuff is not going to be all available at launch. And what people are going to complain about is they're going to complain, and they're going to be like, oh, GTA Online had all this stuff at launch, where's all this stuff? But what people don't understand is that GTA Online did not become the game it is today until 2015. Like, and here's the thing, GTA Online was a pretty boring game until 2015. It really was. Like, I played GTA Online, like, since 2013, and I can tell you, it got really boring. Like, in 2013, I played for a couple months, and I stopped playing, because it got so boring. Like, the first few updates that came out on GTA Online, they sucked. Like, the updates that came out in 2014, they were just so boring. Like, nobody played them. Like, it was just, like, some clothing updates, a few new cars. Like, there was really nothing in those updates. It just sucked. And it was just some contact missions, some races. That was it. It wasn't until Heist came out, when the Lester Heist came out in 2015, like, Police a Job, Prison Break, and that stuff, people started playing the game again, because there was actual activities to do, stuff like that. So That was it. And then you know, Rockstar added the Lowriders DLC. Remember that with Lamar? They brought Lamar back. That was a success. So 2015 is the year where it started, you know, becoming the game that it is, that we know. But like, yeah, that's ultimately what I'll say about it. Is that I think GTA 6 Online will, you know, be a disaster at launch. I don't think it's going to be that successful. I've commented on your video of you reaching 1 million subscribers, professional. Oh, thank you, Leviat fan. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Which country's military combat in World War I you think is the biggest challenge or threat to Germany? I can't believe that Germany almost all win by themselves. What country do I think was the biggest threat to Germany in World War I? France. I know some people might, think that that's ridiculous, sounding that Germany was that France was the biggest threat to Germany, but it was during World War I. Germany obliterated Russia in World War I. Like, a lot of people don't want to admit that, but Germany destroyed Russia in World War I. Like, they obliterated them. Like, Germany won the majority of the battles against the Russians, and then the Russian Civil War happened. The Russian front just collapsed. So Germany's biggest enemy in World War I was France. That was their biggest enemy. It was most of the battles were in France, and the French army was actually really big and elite in World War I. We're not like people think World War II, but World War I, the French army was very different in war. And here's the crazy thing about that: in World War I, the Italian army was so elite in World War I. They were so good in World War I, but then in World War II, they just sucked. But then the opposite happened with France, where in France France also had it where in World War I their army was really good, it was really elite. But then in World War II it was a disaster. What happened? So that was that. But yeah, France was Germany's biggest enemy, I would say, in World War I. Thank you, Jesus, for that super chat. Pro survived his 10 years in the joint. This meme will make sense only when you play Yakuza Kiwami. Well, thank you, Composite Creativity. I guess we'll see. We're gonna play Yakuza Kiwami in like a week or 2 weeks. We'll play it. So I gotta get through Black Ops 7. I gotta finish that before we get to Kiwami. But yeah, thank you, Composite Creativity. Do you think the mansion will have some heists as well? No. I think there's gonna be some missions. You might be able to launch heists from the mansion, like the existing heists. But no, it's not going to have, any unique heist. It's not going to happen, Dynasty. Then thank you for sponsoring my channel for 3 years. Thanks, dude. I'm new here on your channel from India, Professional. Oh, hey, Leviathan. Thank you, dude. Thank you for coming by. Oh, and thank you, YT Grid. $50 donation. Thanks, man. I'm sorry I didn't see the super chat earlier. $50 donation. Thanks, man. Thanks so much, man. You are the best. I started making GTA documentary videos like 27 Theory, Alien War. But yeah, the hype for GTA Online is on the low. Thanks again for all the advice, man. Hope you do a collab with you one day. Happy 10 year. Thank you, YT Grid. And let me also, you know what I'm gonna do also? I'll also subscribe to you. Let me actually subscribe to you here. Hold on. I just have to click on your profile and I can sub to you too here. Also, did anyone here in chat watch my Ned Burner video? Like the video I posted today? Like, did anyone watch it? The lore video, did you like it if you watched it? Like the video on Ned Burner, the reporter, the creepy priest? Okay, I subscribe to you also, Grid. Happy 10th anniversary, Pro. I'm so glad I supported a good YouTuber. Most of the time, I'm watching your videos. You are the best indeed. Thank you, Change. Significant. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, dude. Oh, you guys liked my, yeah, probably next week, Mr. Green. I'm sorry. I'm gonna react to it. I've just been busy with so much stuff. But, did you guys like that ad I did for the gaming chairs? I don't do a lot of ads a lot of times, but I do really like the E1 gaming chairs. I do. It's the one I'm sitting on here right now. It is actually the most comfortable gaming chair that I've sat in. So I do like it. But I hope you guys like that ad too. If anybody is interested in buying an E1 gaming chair, I also have the link at the top pinned comment. And there's a Black Friday sale going on right now, and if you use my code TP, you can get an extra 30% off on the and my code works on everything, not just gaming chairs. So if you're interested in gaming desks and other accessories, it's on there as well too. So my code works on anything on the site. So anything on eWin, if you want to use it, the link is up there. People say Sadie is annoying in Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you agree? No. Sadie was going through a tough time. Her husband had been killed. It's understandable why she was upset.
Well, you'll get the going rate as soon as they're in a...
What do you think about Fallout Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition? I haven't played it. It's kind of dumb, but I haven't really played it. Pasta with strawberry, the favorite food of Polish tennis player. Iga Świątek. Oh, okay. I just haven't heard of that dish specifically, but... I saw your scammer video from India, and I agree that the scammer exists all across the world. They exist to support themselves as the organization as well as the political parties of that particular country. Yeah, and here's what I'll also say about the scammers in India, and this is what a lot of people don't know, especially like a lot of foreigners, like Americans, is that a lot of the scams that are coming from India, like, you know, those scam call centers, a huge chunk of them, not every single one of them, but a huge chunk of them are only coming from one specific region of India. So it's not that the calls, like, for example, like if you watch those YouTube videos where they're tracking the scammers, you don't really see the scammers in like Delhi or in like Mumbai. You do see them in some of the other central Indian cities, but not really in those places. The place where you see the scammers a lot of times in India are in West Bengal, specifically in Kolkata. Like, Kolkata is a city where you will, where you have a lot of those guys that are, you know, doing those scam calls. And the reason for that is because in Kolkata, there is a massive corruption problem. Like, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Leviathan, but, like, in West Bengal, it's a state in India, and Kolkata has a very big corruption problem. Like, it's like one city in India that has a massive corruption problem. So, there are nice cities in India, but, like, but that's it, is that a lot of the scams are coming from one specific region in India. It's coming from West Bengal. So they're not coming from all over the place. They're mostly coming from West Bengal, which is in the eastern part of India. Thank you so much. You are the true godfather of the grinding community. Well, thank you, YT Grid. Thank you. Another $50 donation. Man, you're on fire with those donations today. Thank you, man. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, man. But yeah, what I was trying to say about the West Bengal scammers is the reason that there's so many scammers in West Bengal. Like, if you watch like Scammer Payback's video, when Scammer Payback like hacks into those scammers, it's most of the time it's in Kolkata. Have you ever noticed that it's always Kolkata? It's because in Kolkata specifically, the governor that's in charge, I think her name is Mamata. She's extremely corrupt. She's been involved in numerous scandals, and even her police chief, Rajiv Kumar, that's the police chief, he was actually removed from his position for corruption because he was involved in scams. So, like, the police chief, like the highest police officer in that state, was actually removed for being involved in scams. And then what happened was they brought him back. So literally, he was removed for being involved in scams, and then he was brought back. And so the government in West Bengal is extremely corrupt. So not every part of India is like that. There's parts of India where this corruption doesn't exist, but that is the region of India where the majority of the scams are coming from. Is it's coming specifically from West Bengal and specifically Kolkata, where a lot of these scam calls are originating from. I'm from Kolkata. Oh, so you're from Kolkata. West Bengal and scam centers are all across the country, mostly to support the political parties, huh? So you're telling me that these scam call centers are funding political parties in India? Corruption is also a huge problem in Pakistan, where I'm from. Oh. Yeah, there have also been scam calls, I know that have come from Pakistan as well, too. But yeah, it is government corruption is some of the worst corruption that you can have out there, because the government, you're looking up to them to, to do what's right for the country, and they're not doing what's right for the country when they're doing crap like that. Congrats on the 10. I've been watching you for 4 years now, and constantly binge watch all your cosplay playthroughs. Here's to another 10 years. Thank you, Arise Harbinger. Thanks, dude. And thank you, Shadow. Will you cover the other Far Cry games? Yeah, I will play Far Cry 2 one day. Chase, thoughts on Min Aung Hlaing of Burma? And do you think he's a Burma is a dictatorship. It has not been a democracy for some time. The military overthrew the country. Chase, it's not a it's not a democracy. But Leviathan, did you agree with what I said about the corruption in in West Bengal? Like, do you know what I'm talking about with like the police chief? Like, I don't think he's called police chief. I think it's director police or something like that. But you know what I'm talking about, right? That he was involved in like scams, and he was actually removed, and then he was brought back. Do you know what I'm talking about? How did your parents teach you English, since English was not your parents' native language? English is my native language. English is not my parents' native language, but English is my native language. I grew up in America. I was born in this country. This is where I speak. I speak English. So my parents, they grew up speaking Polish primarily, but I went to school here. I was born here. So English is my native language. It's Polish that I learned from my parents. But what are your thoughts on Fumi Aro? Who's that, SL? I'll see you, Francisco. Take care, dude. Prime Minister of Japan before Tojo. Oh, I don't really know much about him. The way you recall the names of the chief minister, quite a memory, bro. Thank you, dude. Yeah, it was Mamata, and then the director of the police is Rajiv Kumar. I know that. But yeah, that Rajiv Kumar guy, that guy should not be the director of the police. You know what that guy should be? That guy should be in prison. That's where he should be. And also, he was involved, Rajiv Kumar was involved in a scam that targeted thousands of Indians. Like, it was like, he had scammed his own people, but he was involved, I have to look up exactly the scam that he was involved in. It was some kind of investment scam. So it was some kind of investment, and it defrauded like thousands of Indians. It was like really horrible. And the Director General of the police was directly involved in that. That's what's so messed up about the story. Thoughts on the Generation Z protest in Mexico against Sheinbaum? I can't stand Sheinbaum, like the president of Mexico. I don't like her at all. I don't really want to get involved in the whole politics. And here's the thing is, my dislike for her has nothing to do with politics. It's not, I don't even really know what her political positions are. My dislike for her is because she does absolutely nothing about the cartel problem in Mexico and the corruption in Mexico. Like, just nothing. Like, her response to it is just, is so terrible. There was this mayor in Mexico. I don't know his name. Somebody in the comment might know. But there was this mayor that was elected in Mexico, and he was like a really popular guy, and he basically said, I'm going to clean up the city. I'm going to kill the cartels. I'm going to destroy the cartels. And what happened? Mexico is celebrating the Day of the Dead, which is Halloween in Mexico. And he gets shot in public, just killed, murdered in public. And that's basically what caused the whole protest. And the Mexican government is like, we had no idea who did this. We can't figure it out. We can't solve it. It's obvious. You don't have to be an idiot. You literally, an idiot could figure out that the cartel had him killed. But like the Mexican government saying, we don't know who killed this mayor. When the mayor said, I'm going to destroy the cartels, and then the mayor gets assassinated, and the Mexican government's like, we don't know who did it. It's like, seriously, really? How stupid are you? So that's why people are protesting, because they're pissed. People are sick of the corruption in their country. They're sick of the cartels, destroying Mexico. And honestly, what I'll say about this is there really is no reason that Mexico should be in the state that it's in right now, because here's the thing is Mexico has everything it needs to be a rich country. It has ports, it has long coast, it has natural resources, it has tourist destinations. People like to go on vacation to Mexico. So like Mexico has really everything it needs to be a rich and successful country. But the reason it's not at the end of the day is because of this corruption. It is because of the cartels. The cartels and the corruption just destroying the country. And these people that are protesting in Mexico, these kids, these guys love their country. They love Mexico, and they're sick of this. They're sick of their country being destroyed by these corrupt politicians and these scumbags and these cartel bosses that are basically just running their country into the ground, and they're tired of it. And so I completely sympathize with the protesters. I sympathize with the protesters protesting in Mexico. And what is the Mexican government doing right now about this? You know what they're doing? They're sending the police to arrest protesters. They're beating up protesters. That's what they're doing. If the Mexican government had put that much effort into actually stopping the cartels that they're doing and actually stopping the protests, then these cartels wouldn't be existing in Mexico. So I sympathize with the protesters 100%. I don't like Sheinbaum. I don't like the president of Mexico. I don't like her at all. So that's what I'll say about it, ultimately, my view on it. When will I play Metal Gear Solid 4? I will play Metal Gear Solid 4 once I finish all the other Metal Gear games. I want Metal Gear Solid 4 to be my final one. I want to do it in chronological order. So I want Metal Gear Solid 4 to be my final one that I play. What do you think about Red Dead Redemption on the Netflix app? What? Netflix? What? You can play Red Dead Redemption on that? I know you can play like GTA Definitive Edition, but that now? What? Am I gonna play Black Ops 7? Oh yeah. I'm gonna just finish Black Ops 2. Once I finish Black Ops 2, we will immediately start Black Ops 7. No, can you post it again, Golden Stripe? Oh, okay. Okay, Brandon. I'm good, Harley. How are you, dude? Hey, Pro, I joined a group post on Xbox, and I helped some guy who said 50-50 for diamonds for the casino heist, and I helped them out, and they left, and they didn't give me anything. What do you think of that? Wait, what do you mean they left? Like, they didn't invite you to the heist finale? Like, what? So, like, you helped them with the preps, but they didn't help you, they didn't invite you to the finale? What do you mean exactly? Can you explain a little bit more? How evil was Hideki Tojo? Oh, Tojo was a piece of crap. Like, Tojo, a lot of these war crimes Tojo was complicit in. Like, the slaughter in China, Tojo was heavily involved in that. So, like, Tojo knew about a lot of this crap. He knew about the war crimes against POWs in the Philippines. He knew about that, too. So he was like a, really evil guy. A really, really, really bad guy. Tojo is responsible for millions of deaths, by the way. Millions. That's how many really, really evil guy. Not only they didn't invite me to the heist, the person he closed the post and he changed it to 15%. What? Oh, that just sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you, King. Oh yeah, we're gonna replay Saints Row 1 next year in August, because that's gonna be the 10-year anniversary. I remember professional. I remember when his work at the trucks all our night. I said what Vito said. Who loads boxes all day? Thank you, Tommy Angelo. Wait, what? Who? What Vito? Oh, you mean from Mafia 2? Thank you, dude, for the super chat. Yeah, Zach, you sent me a bunch of different TV shows. It was just Zach. I'm just this December is gonna be the month that I'm gonna have more freedom. I was just last night I went to bed at 5 a.m. I finished that lore video. That's when I went to bed at last night, 5 a.m. So I'm sorry, Zach. I've just been busy with a bunch of stuff. But Zach, the TV show that I will start watching is I'll start watching Blue Bloods. That's what I'll start watching. Okay, I'll start watching in December. I promise you that. You're a night owl pro? Not really. I used to be a night owl. I started going to sleep and waking up at like, I wake up at like 10, 11 o'clock every day now. And I know some people might say, oh, that's late. But this is a massive improvement from me because I used to wake up at like 12, 1, 2 o'clock every day. So now I wake up at like 10 or 11 o'clock. So that's a massive improvement for me. Worked in retail. Yeah. Retail is rough. Did you like it, Mr. 159? I haven't watched it yet, but did you like it?
I'm gonna make you regret this, you dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, I could play those games one day. They're like Ace Attorney, right, Gunner? You're a night owl and you wake up at 10 or 11 still, huh?
I can pay for that.
Is it true that Blue Bloods did not get a proper ending, though, that it got canceled? Is that actually true? You know, one of the reasons I want to watch Blue Bloods is because Tom Selleck is in it. I know he's like the chief of police, so I gotta watch it for that. I just want to see Tom Selleck.
Throw him in the cell downstairs and we'll get to settling up. Go on. This here is your end of a good deal.
Black Lagoon is coming back. Really? Wait, Black Lagoon, the anime. Black Lagoon is really coming back? Because Black Lagoon is like an old anime, wasn't it? Didn't the anime come out in like 2012? It's like it's been over 10 years since like the last episodes, and like I remember the company kept saying that they're gonna finish Black Lagoon, but they never finished it. Are you a descendant of the Cumans or the Tatars? Well, the Cumans and the Tatars kind of are the same people. It's weird. It's a little complicated. A lot of them are very closely related. What came out earlier, Far? Hey, hang on a second. I gotta look this up because I watched Black Lagoon when I was younger. Did Black Lagoon seriously come back? Did it really? Let me see here. It is an old one, but yeah, Black Lagoon was a really, really good, really, really good one. Okay. I don't see anything right here on it. Did it come back? Hang on. Yes, it is on July. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Hang on. Black Lagoon. New season. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hold on. Oh, it's the manga though, but I was really hoping they'd bring back the anime, but what are your thoughts on Red Faction Armageddon? I liked it, but Guerrilla was always the best game. Guerrilla was the best Red Faction game. They Croatia, there was Ustasha. They did some pretty horrific things. Like they were very, very, they did some really, really evil things during World War II. Has anyone seen Tulsa King season 3 yet? Here, don't spoil it for me. But is it good? Is it good? Because I still gotta watch it. I watched season 1 and 2. I haven't watched season 3 at all. So I was just waiting till the whole thing finishes so I could watch it. But was it good? Did you enjoy it? Oh, I just got a super chat. I enjoyed the new season of Tulsa King. I think this season has my favorite antagonist so far. There's also going to be a spin-off show called Nola King, which is set in New Orleans. Oh, and who's going to be the main character in Nola King? Is it a character from Tulsa King? One big reason PC is better over consoles because of modding. Well, yes, but you have like Xbox, for example, has like modding, like good modding on like a lot of consoles, like a lot of Fallout and like Skyrim. There's some pretty good ones on that. Oh, he did because of his health. I didn't know about that, Phoenix. Did I know your chat is subscriber only? Yes, I did. I do know that, Box. The reason I have to keep my chat as subscriber only is because if I don't, I'm gonna have these weird like Nola King. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, that's who it's gonna be. Okay, but listen, I bet a bunch of people are probably gonna laugh at this when I'm gonna say this. But when I used to have my chat set that anybody could comment. So if you were not a subscriber, you could comment. But the reason I had to change that is because years ago, what would happen is I had these weird Russian bots come into the chat, and like these bots, they had like Russian names, like the Russian alphabet, and what they would do is they would constantly spam porn links to like creepy porn websites. Like I'm not making this up. Like this really happened. Like if anybody who's watched my channel years ago, you will remember this when these Russian bots would just show up. So like these bots with just Russian names constantly posting links to these creepy porn sites, and I was like, what the F is this? And like literally, what I did was when I set the thing to subscriber only, it stopped it. It was like no more Russian porn bots were coming into chat, and that was it. It was over. But that was like that stuff was coming in, and that was like really creepy, and it was just yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a. But when I go back to doing Drug Dealer Simulator, I'm gonna do a stream of it probably. That's what I'll do. Hopefully my card isn't blocked out yet, but if it's not 10 effing years, baby, just one more, to GTA 6, but here's to another 10. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. Thank you for the super chat, man. Happy 10th anniversary, Pro. Quick question. Which NFL fan are you? You mean football? I don't really watch football, though. I'll be honest with you on that. Is that a picture of General Sherman that you have on there from the Civil War, by the way? I think that is. Isn't that, thank you, Sherman, for the super chat. But I don't watch football, though. You can ask me any other question, I'll answer it, but I don't really know anything about football. I'm sorry, I don't. Did that show get a proper ending, Zach? Did it get canceled? No, I haven't, Mason. Who started World War I? Everyone did. Everyone is to blame for that. Like, both sides have equal blame. What do you mean, Zach? What's end of tour? But how did it get a proper ending if it got canceled? Oh, these cards are really good. Okay.
I heard Pennybaker sunk another $100 into that new camera company. Poor devil thinks it has a future. Huh? Well then.
Do you have any videos where you talk about history? My shorts. Go on my shorts page, and I have a lot of history shorts. Like, their shorts are dedicated entirely to talking history. No Russian was a really controversial mission when that came out. I do remember that. That was... I might actually have a flush also here. Okay, hold on. $1 bet. Professional pronounced as Leviathan from Leviathan acts in the God of War Norse mythology and for my country India. Oh, okay. Every character mission's optional in GTA Vice City. Are they optional? They are still canon though. Thank you, Golden Stripe. You need them for 100%. Oh, won that. My favorite Sopranos character. My favorite non-Sopranos character would be Johnny Sack, if we're talking the New York families. My favorite character in the Soprano family would be Patsy. Oh, okay, Zach. My main man in the YouTube crime family. Yeah, and I will tell you, those Easter eggs where they put, like, Makarov and Yuri in Modern Warfare 1 in the remake, that was actually really good. One day I could do those, Phoenix.
I swear I saw another Chinese sneaking out of the Grand Theater last week. I think they're watching the shows.
That is something else.
I did see a clip from Blue Bloods on YouTube though, Zach, but the clip I saw from Blue Bloods is I saw a clip of one of the characters. He was in a park and there was like this guy that was pointing like a handgun at a bunch of kids, and the cop shoots him, and then like the next scene in the video, it's where like they're talking to the police commissioner, who's Tom Selleck, and the reporter was like asking him like why the cop didn't shoot the gun out of his hand, which is like a stupid question. Like, reporters always say, oh, you know, why don't you shoot them in the hand, or you shoot them in the legs or stuff like that, but they don't realize criminals don't stand still, and this is like a life or death situation. But and then Tom Selleck says like he says like what would you do in this situation, and then the reporter's thinking, and he says, oh, too late, you're dead. And that's pretty accurate. So at least I got that. I like what Blue Bloods did with that, is that it shows how stupid some of these reporters are. Because some of these reporters, I would tell you, are like really stupid. They really are. You make some pretty good content, bro. Thank you, Marcus. Pegorino's based on Phil Leotardo. Well, I would say about Black Lagoon, Jonathan, people keep saying that Balalaika is like, the worst like antagonist, but the thing about Balalaika is Balalaika is not the most evil character in Black Lagoon, not, by far. The most evil character in Black Lagoon is, I forget his name. What is the name of the Triad boss? The guy from Hong Kong. The guy who wears the suit and the glasses. He is the most evil character. He's way worse than Balalaika. I remember, it's been years since I've seen it, but the Triad boss, he was the worst one. Out of all the gangsters in that one, he was the worst one. But everyone always says Balalaika, but I don't think Balalaika was as bad as him. Mr. Chang, yeah. Okay, that was him. Yeah, Mr. Chang, he was way worse than Balalaika. That's what I would say. I don't think Balalaika is as evil as people make her out to be, because Balalaika at least cares about her people. She does. She cares about her people. She's the Russian mafia boss, but at least she cares about her people. Where Mr. Chang does not care about the other triads. He does not at all. So that's what I'll say about it. Is Chang is the most evil crime boss in Black Lagoon. Hmm. And side note, what is it here? Thank you again for moderator and for Mafia. You didn't even have to, but I still appreciate it. But never owe me a damn thing again, because I never expect anything from you besides good content, which you do. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. Thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday unless it's somebody else's birthday. It's the anniversary of my channel. My channel's anniversary is today. Folding. How about Roberta and Hansel and Gretel? Aren't Hansel and Gretel the two kids, the child assassins? I wouldn't really put them as both evil because they grew up in a bad environment. They're still kids, they're killers, but their brains are not fully developed, so I wouldn't say that they're completely evil. Roberta used to be evil, but she kind of left that behind, but then she kind of snapped. Do you think we're getting a GTA 4 remastered? If it does not come out by holiday this year, no. What about the neo-Nazis from Black Lagoon? Oh, I almost forgot about those guys. But those guys, they died pretty early in the show, if I remember. They had their ship, right? It was like their big container ship, and then they were trying to access that Nazi submarine. That yeah, and then their ship got blown up, and then they all died on it. So yeah, they were pretty bad, but they died early on. So I guess that's why they're pretty forgetful. Did you know that the second case for Ace Attorney is reference to Watergate? The hotel's name is Gatewater, and that Red White uses wiretaps like Nixon during the scandal. Oh, that I didn't know. That's actually a point. Is Blue Bloods available on Prime? Because I have Prime on TV on like the Amazon. I'll have to check if Siphon Filter should get a remake. Yes, it should. I agree with you 100%. And the original trilogy. I still have to play Siphon Filter 3. I did a play for Siphon Filter 1 and 2. I gotta do a play for 3. Still gotta do that. I can still do the other zombie maps, Minion Dave. Yeah, Hopkins, and I have plans to do that series also next year, too. I actually have the Chuck Green jacket. Largest artificial explosion was in 1961, and what was that? Do you know that Roberta the Maid was a FARC fighter? Yes, FARC, that is Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. It's a communist terrorist group that operated in Colombia. It's pretty much, you know, it still exists in some faction. I think it's ELN is the other, you know, communist faction. It's in Colombia, but yes, FARC was a very strong faction that existed in Colombia for, you know, decades, and it was a terror group. Ascension map, that was a good one, too, in Black Ops. Dr. Phil, Patrick, what you just said is articulate, is intelligent, and is logical. You seem to be a very honest and straightforward individual. Thank you, Dr. Phil. Could I please play Cyberpunk next year? Thank you, Rude Valpo. Yeah, and I got a lot of playthroughs that I gotta get to. A lot of them. I'm at the Tsar Bomba explosion in 1961. Oh yeah, the Soviet Union's, you know, test on that too. I didn't know that, Phoenix.
Good morning, friend. Taking a slow one, huh? Worry about your own affairs, my friend.
Happy 10th anniversary. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you for the super chat. Hibernate. My favorite zombies map for Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 zombies I actually didn't play that much. I remember I played the one with the bus one, and then I played the one with the skyscrapers. Transit, yeah, that was it. Most evil target in Assassin's Creed 1, Al-Mualim. Yeah, there's a World War I map in Black Ops 2 Zombies. I remember that one. Isn't that a VR game, Total Overdose? Black Lagoon is based on the mercenary genre? I've never heard of that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it took some inspiration from it. Preston Garvey is generally a good guy, but he can't expect you to do everything on your own. The Executioner, he's pretty bad too. He actually takes pleasure in, you know, doing the horrible things he does. Ever heard of Chicken Jockey? Yes, the Minecraft movie. People kept doing that. They kept, throwing food around. It was stupid and it was bad. Will I go shopping on Black Friday? When I shop, I shop online. But I haven't really bought anything, on Black Friday. I did get this chair. This one, but, yeah, I haven't really been shopping much this year. Let me see here, Oh, I guess I haven't heard of it then, Mr. John Cena. Thanksgiving was good. Maybe one day I could do them, Marquise, yeah. Just Metal Gear Solid would be a complicated game to do a lore on, because the story can get very tricky in those. I missed a super chat, did I? I recommend watching the show before playing the Cyberpunk show, huh? Thank you, Rude Vault Boy. Yeah, I did enjoy Crime Boss. I gotta come back to the game one day, but it was fun. Yeah, I will play Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Well, that's just the well-natured things, I guess.
How are things? Things are mighty fine indeed. Oh, good.
Thoughts on a Manhunt fan-made movie released 2 days ago. I might actually react to that.
So, then...
I've heard. Fine day.
Well then.
Is Manhunt violent? It's very violent.
Things just get worse and worse.
Hey Pro, here's the 10 years of your channel. What did you use to make your South Park character for your channel's profile picture? Thank you, Candy Rita. I had, when it comes to my South Park avatar, I had, I used, like, a website that uses, that makes random South Park avatars. I made that, like, a long time ago. Very, very long time ago. And I just always kept that as the avatar. I kind of liked it. Did you like Scarface, Mario? See how many people here fold. Who's gonna fold? Everyone's going in, I see. Can I speak Polish? Tak, ja umiem gadać po polsku. Yes, I know how to speak Polish. Oh, I'm gonna win this. Yeah, look at that. 3 sevens. Well, I pretty much got all my money back here. Okay, Zach, I'll look into it. Protagonist is an undercover DEA agent. I'll look into it, Mr. Johnson. A total overdose, you said. I will answer a few questions before I go here, so anybody that wants to ask me any questions, I'll answer it. Would it be easier for you to speak German or Russian if you can speak Polish? Russian. I still have to do the Fallout 3 DLCs. I still have to do those. I won't forget that one, Bad Gamer. It's stupid. Microsoft is going to lose more business because of it, because they're increasing their prices. Can we play the whole game of Crime Boss with female henchwomen in the squad? Yeah, you can basically make your own gang in Crime Boss, so I guess you could do that. Menacing Consigliere. I'm going to bed, Pat. Take care, and happy Thanksgiving to chat, and happy birthday to Phoenix, and meet tomorrow. Okay, happy birthday to you, Menacing, and also happy birthday to Phoenix. Thanks for the stream, Pearl. No problem, Zach. Can I play Microsoft Flight Simulator? I could. You know, you guys want to know what I would do if I played Microsoft Flight Simulator? You honestly want to know what I would do? I would fly straight to North Korea. That's what I would do. I'd just fly over like North Korea, and I just want to like see, explore it. That's probably what I would do, and just fly like over Pyongyang and just if you even lets you fly there and stuff like that, just to troll and explore the map too. Do you think gaming will be more expensive for us in 2026? What is that, Daniel? I think, yeah, companies are always going to increase their prices. Okay, GTA 3 is based on what New York City? Just New York City in general. Maybe a little bit of New Jersey too, but I guess we'll be going here, guys. Now I'm always open to more game suggestions. I don't think the Fallout 3 remaster is coming out anytime soon, though, Mr. Green. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like. Thank you guys, everyone who came by my 10th year anniversary today. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.